Alright, so disclaimer, this video is gonna be pretty long. This might be one of the longest videos in terms of Diary of a Wimpy Kid I've ever made, apart from Diary of a Wimpy Kid Greg en France. Yeah, this video is gonna be like an hour long, so I'm just giving you this heads up before you watch anything. If you don't have a problem with that, cool. Also, stay at the end. I have important announcements to make at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Monday. So, something really weird happened today. Rowley came up to me and said he was constipated and he was proud of himself. Already off to a good start, I see. He said some stupid stuff before, but I really thought he would cross the line this time. But that's not all. He then said, "My mom says it makes me stronger." What the f? After school, Rowley called me and said that I should go to his house because he has this really cool thing he wants to show me. At first, I was going to say no because I was still a little freaked out about what he said to me today. Another thing, I was really curious about what this really cool thing was, so I decided to go over. After getting to Rowley's house, I couldn't find his mom or dad, which is kinda strange, so I just went to Rowley's room. When I got there, I asked where his parents were, but he just ignored me and told me to wait in his room. A few minutes after he left, I kept smelling something really funky. So I started to search around his room and found his cat laying dead in the corner of his closet. Okay. After what felt like hours of waiting, I was just going to leave when Rowley came into the room with this powdery stuff in bags. Tuesday, I woke up on the floor. All that powder was on the floor too, and Rowley was gone. I would write down about what went down last night, but I don't remember anything. I just remembered it was a school night, but I guess it doesn't matter. So I just walked home. After I got home, I just sat down and started to play video games. Dad came in and he asked me why I wasn't in school. So I told him about what happened yesterday, me going to Rowley's house, his parents not being there, his dead cat, and the cool stuff that me and Rowley played with. Let me just say, he didn't take it too well. He said that I'm off the hook for now, but he doesn't want me hanging out with Rowley ever again. Wednesday, Rowley asked me to come over his house again. "Greggy, come and play with me again." What? You know what? No, I'm not even gonna address what I just read. Moving on. I remember what Dad said about those drug things, so I told him no. He started to look really angry. I never seen Rowley get this mad before. Then he grabbed me and said, "How about now?" Then he kissed me. Yeah, I might have had good reflexes because all I did was punch him in the face and told him to fuck off. Scram! But Greg. June, after the whole Rowley thing, I've been a mess. Let me explain. So a few weeks after me and Rowley's fight, he has been photoshopping pictures of me into doing crazy things. I swear I'll kill that. My mom came into my room and said that she was mad about me staying inside my room since summer started and how she wants me to go to summer camp again. But I told her that I can't because I have to catch up with Rowley's post, so I can tell everyone in the comments that I'm not what they think I am. Then she said that if I don't go, she'll put me up for adoption again. Wait, what? What kind of parents do you have? Anyway, I'm not going to that place again, so I said okay. So after Mom left my room, I started to take out my old bag and took some of the old stuff that was in it out of it. Next, after that, I put some useful stuff in it like flashlights, drummies, clothes, that kind of stuff. Since I was done with packing my bags, I just sat back and relaxed until Roderick came into my room. He told me that Mom told him that he was coming with me because Mom wants me and him to spend quality time with each other and maybe get to know each other a little more. This bitch is acting like we've never met before. Like, after so many years with living with Roderick, I've even known stuff that I've never wanted to know. For example, he's into anal, exhibit A. Then I would scoop the rest of the leftovers out of my butt with this spoon. Anyway, I think it'll just be weird and annoying to see each other 24/7. Monday. This morning while I was eating breakfast, I asked Roderick if Mom told him what camp we were going to. He said we were going to this place called Camp Unlucky Clover and that he was going to bring a jar with him. I asked him why and he said he's gonna try to catch a leprechaun. I just didn't say anything. I can't take this bullshit. When me and Roderick were getting in the car, something hit my mind. I asked Mom why Manny wasn't coming too, and she said that she saw him dragging a garbage bag into his room, so he might have been busy. Well, that gave chills down my spine. After Mom dropped me and Roderick at Camp Unlucky Clover, I got separated from Roderick because there were so many kids there. I guess Roderick can do his own thing. This place was giving me a really unnerving feeling because all the kids were crying and one kid said something really weird to me. Leave while you still can. I started to ask the kid on what he was talking about, but I was interrupted by a loud car horn. I turned around and I can't believe what I saw. It was Roderick driving his own van. I asked him how he got it and he said that before we left, he called his pal to come over and bring it for him so Mom wouldn't have to pick us up. Then he drove off to park it somewhere where the counselors wouldn't see it. It was already getting dark, so the counselors told us that we needed to go to bed because we had a big day tomorrow. So I'm gonna stop here and try to get some sleep. Tuesday. Roderick woke me up this morning. He told me to get up because apparently the counselors had something important to discuss with all of us. So I got up and went with Roderick. When we got to the crowds, we somehow gotten split up again, but I guess that's fine. After all the kids got there, the counselors said it's time to start our day of child labor. I couldn't believe my ears. Did Mom sign me and Roderick up for a child labor camp? This can't be happening. Well, after that announcement, we went straight to work. The first thing the counselors made us do was carry these really heavy bags, and they smelled terrible. Who knows what could have been in them? Other than that, we had to transport the same stuff that Rowley showed me to these trucks. I personally hope they die playing with them. Soon after that long day of work, we had to go to bed. At least we even had beds. Later that night, I was jolted awake. I didn't know what kind of dream I had, but I did know that it was a nightmare. I hope I get out of this place soon. Today, we all did the same thing. Forgot to announce Wednesday. Anyway, Wednesday. Today, we did the same things we did yesterday. It was really boring. But one thing that caught my attention was that some kids went on the bus and left. I was really confused, so I asked some of the kids who were next to me what was going on. So one of them told me if the kids here didn't work as hard enough, the counselors will send them to the slaughterhouses. I asked them if there was some way we could escape and get out of here, and he said that the only way out is running through the woods until we find civilization, but that's highly unlikely. But one other kid started speaking up and he said that there is another way out and it's ending our lives. I can already see YouTube taking this down for self-harm just by that one line. I'll censor it, I swear. I wasn't fond of that idea, so I just walked away. I'm just surprised that I haven't died yet. At lunch today, if you can even call it lunch, the cafeteria people served us kids this weird looking slop. I didn't even know what it was. I even heard one kid died from it. Maybe the counselors are trying to kill us. July. Tuesday. It's been a few weeks since I last wrote in this. I was hoping the counselors wouldn't catch me writing in this because they probably would have taken it away. I feel like I'm not gonna get out of here soon. 11 p.m. I woke up last night because I heard someone walking through the cabin. I did see their silhouette, but I couldn't tell who it was. When I laid my head back down, I heard something crunch under my pillow. I plucked it out and it said this: "Hey loser, meet me behind the cabin at 11:03, Roderick." Yep, that was Roderick's grammar, alright. I didn't have time to stand around for 3 minutes, so I just got up and went around the cabin, and I saw Roderick and his van. I completely forgot about it until now, same with Roderick. Come on, we're leaving. Once Roderick and I got in and started the engine, I asked him why he didn't do this in the first place. So he said that when he was finding a place to put his car, he accidentally drove it over some kid and it somehow messed up his car. So basically we were stranded until he fixed it, which he did. Then we started driving blindlessly through the woods because it was dark and we couldn't find a dirt or gravel road. Everything seemed like smooth sailing until Roderick ran over something that looked like a cat and the lights on Roderick's van broke. Apparently someone heard us because we heard someone yelling behind us, so me and Roderick started running in the vast darkness. I couldn't see Roderick, but I knew he was behind me because I heard him yell, "Keep running!" So I did. August, Tuesday. You might be wondering what the heck happened. So basically when I was running in the middle of the woods in the dead of night, I came across a highway and Roderick caught up to me. There was a truck coming by, so we hitched a ride home. But when I did, I checked my phone and found out Rowley made me internet famous. And not in the good way. So I took my anger out by beating the shit out of Manny. My mom asked me what I was mad about and I told her, why not apologize? Yeah, apologizing was not an option. Lately, he's been calling me retarded and people would go on my account and make fun of me. Her kids at school have been catching the drift too. Today, I tried talking to Holly Hills, but she said that if I touched her, she would get diabetes. It's like the new cheese touch. People have been saying that if I get near to them, they'll get retarditis. Oh my god. So I did what any other person would do and I fought fire with fire. I decided to post a video that me and Rowley made a few years ago when we were still friends, where I made Rowley eat cat poop from a litter box. Wednesday. It worked. It had over 100,000 likes on the video and I checked Rowley's account and people were making fun of him. Today even Holly Hills called Rowley a shit eater and all the other kids started calling him that. But then after I got home, something strange happened. I checked my phone and I had gotten a text message from Rowley. Hey Greg, I want to make a deal. I was kind of curious, so I asked him what the deal was. Let me hear it first, and by the way, don't make it stupid. Okay, here is the deal. You and me will make one embarrassing picture of each other each. The Plainview parade is on Friday. If I get 1 million likes by then you have to make out with me at the parade. And if you win, I'll poop on the sidewalk in front of everyone during the parade. Okay, deal. Thursday. Once I got home today, I downloaded Photoshop and I got to work. After 4 hours, I finished this masterpiece. Da Vinci had nothing on this bitch. It was goddamn perfect. All I had to do now was post it online. Last, all I had to do was sit back and let all the likes roll in. But boy, did it take a while though. There were times where my post was gaining on Rowley's and Rowley's was gaining on mine. But it was time. Me and Rowley's posts were both almost to 1 million. I refreshed the page on mine and my post had 1 million likes. But when I checked Rowley's post, my smile quickly faded. Likes 1,354,000. Yeah, I lost. Friday, day of the parade. I was up all night last night. What am I going to do? Then, out of nowhere, I got it. It might be the worst thing I've ever done, but at least it will get me out of making out with Rowley. 2 p.m. I texted Rowley to meet me near the place where the parade ended. He showed up, putting lipstick on. Then he told me to pucker up. Right before he had gotten too close to me, I shoved him toward the road where a nearby float was coming. Huh? Rowley was crushed. Rowley is dead. Okay, that took the biggest fucking dark turn I have ever seen in my life. Oh boy. Greg's got a kill count. Hold on. As a matter of fact, boom. So we have this kill counter up here, and this is gonna be up here for every time Greg kills somebody or implies that he might have killed somebody. Okay, let's continue the story. Thursday. A few weeks later, everything has calmed down. I've even felt happy for once. Rowley's funeral was today and I went. Not because I was sad though, I just wanted to show off. Tee-hee, I'm still alive, bitch. His own parents didn't even show up. Greg, I think he might have killed his parents. Sorry to break it to you, pal. Something else was off too. How come I didn't get caught? I mean, I was the one who killed Rowley. It's been weeks and there hasn't even been a news article about it. Well, Rowley is dead, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. September, Friday. Today at school, Principal Roy said that we are gonna have a school talent show on Tuesday. I thought this would be a great opportunity to show Holly how cool I am. Also, something strange happened today. When I went outside to grab the mail, Fregley was there waiting for me. I asked him what he wanted and he asked me if I was going to be in the talent show. Yeah, why? I will destroy you, Greg Heffley. Great. Now I have to worry about another weirdo on my hands. Monday. Okay, so the act I'm gonna do is sing a rap song. Sing a rap song? God damn it, Greg. That has to be the whitest shit I've ever heard you say. Anyway, I even wrote it myself, but I needed music for it. So I snuck into Roderick's room while he wasn't in there. But I didn't find any music without any lyrics. But I did look in Dad's room and I found a strange CD. I plugged it into one of the speakers in Roderick's room and it sounded like some sort of cult music. Also, that wasn't the only weird thing that happened today. Today at lunch, I saw some pretty cute girls sitting at a table. I wanted to impress them, so I started flexing. They weren't that impressed. But I saw Fregley eating off the floor, so I kicked him right where the sun don't shine. He immediately shot back up and started to snort and growl at me. It was actually kind of threatening. Then out of nowhere, he pulled down his pants, ripped off his dick, and threw it at me. What the actual? After that, kids started to pay Fregley food to eat it. And that's when I ran to the nearest trash can and I puked up food for a bum 3 weeks ago. It kind of scares me thinking about what Fregley's gonna do at the talent show. Tuesday. It was finally time for my musical skills at the talent show. I loaded up my equipment like a speaker, microphone, that kind of stuff. I'm actually borrowing the stuff from Roderick. So me and my family drove to school that night. Most of the acts were pretty boring, but when it was almost my turn, I told everyone to wish me luck. Dad didn't say anything. When I got on the stage, I saw my dad way in the back. I guess my dad just doesn't like me singing rap, but when I did sing, it sounded way better in my head. Yo, my name is Greg. Get ready to beg. Guacamole nigga penis. But then, things got a whole lot interesting. After I got off stage, Fregley bumped into me. Behind him, he had water sprinklers, so I told him not to do anything funny. When I got back to my seat, I saw Dad sitting by everyone else again. But when I sat down, I didn't say anything because I thought it would be way too awkward. Then it was time for Fregley. He was walking on stage with his sprinklers and he was grinning from ear to ear. He was silent for a second, which was kind of weird, but then it happened. He screamed on the top of his lungs, let her rip, and turned on the sprinklers. You want to know what came out of them? Wet boogers. If you don't know, Roderick has this weird allergic reaction with wet boogers, so you can guess what happens next. And now I want to throw out my lunch for the past 3 weeks because what I just read was absolutely fucking disgusting. October, Wednesday. Today I went to Mom and Dad's room to apologize to Dad. He was probably still mad at me for singing rap at the school's talent show. I mean, technically you also screamed guacamole you know what I mean. But when I got to his room, he was typing something on his computer, so I stayed back to see what it was. He was typing military school for 17-year-old boys. I have to tell Roderick. Dad was probably searching that up because of what Roderick did at the school talent show. But Roderick couldn't help it. I heard that Roderick started doing that when he was 4 years old. I know it sounds weird that I want to help him, but he's my brother. He even saved me from that camp that we went to a few months ago. When I got to Roderick's room, he was laying on his bed with headphones on. I motioned him to take them off, and he did. When I told him about Dad, he didn't even care, he just put them back on. So I guess I wasn't going to get through to him, so I needed to find a way to make sure he doesn't go to military school. That's when I got it. Remember that weird CD ritual music thing that I talked about? I can blackmail Dad with that. So I went back to where the CD was, and it was right there where I left it. All I needed to do then was find Dad, show it to him, and let the blackmail begin. Anyway, I found Dad in the kitchen, so I walked up to him and showed him the CD, and he immediately started to become nervous. He even kinda choked for a second. Dad, we're going to make a deal. Oh, Greg, where did you get that CD? He was trying to play it cool, so I tried being more serious. I'll be the one asking the questions, mister. Okay, what's the deal? It was working. Time for the final part of my plan. After that, I told Roderick and he didn't really mind as usual. November. I haven't written this for a few weeks now. It's probably because things have died down a bit since I last wrote in this. Fregley hasn't been bothering me for a long while, so that's good. But I came back to my journal for another reason. In the middle of the night, I heard that same cult music coming from Manny's room. Confused, I got up out of bed and snuck into Manny's room and opened the door. I almost passed out. I thought I was dreaming. I saw Manny in the room and even Fregley. There was also this red circle in the ground with candles around it. Roderick came running into the room too with a bat because he heard me screaming. He said, "Isn't that your fat friend who died?" and pointed to Rowley. I just ignored him and told Rowley to stay back or else. "Don't worry, I won't kill you." I couldn't say another word though because I was knocked out. Tuesday. I woke up in the morning laying in my bed, but my head had a bruise, so I knew that what happened last night wasn't a dream. I found a videotape that was laying on the table beside my bed. It said, "Play me." So I popped it into my old VCR and it was Rowley. "Hello, Greg Heffley." Basically, he said that he started a cult with Manny and Fregley. Their goal is to make me join and become Rowley's queen. Not happening. Wednesday. Today I was remembering what Rowley said in the video, and I remembered that Manny was in Rowley's cult. The first thing I did was march into Manny's room to ask him questions. But right when I opened the door, Manny said, "Don't get in my way, Bubby. Remember, I am always watching, and if you mess with Rowley, Fregley, or me, you're dead." And now, yep, this is officially my sleep paralysis demon. Yep, somehow they have made Manny even more terrible. And this will haunt me for the rest of my nightmares, or until I finish reading this fucking book. Thursday. Today I told Roderick about what was going on and what Manny said to me yesterday. After Roderick heard what I said, he told me that he was going to kill him. After he was done with his drink, he smashed the bottom of it and started walking towards Manny's room. I told him not to, but he didn't listen. He hit Manny upside the head. "That was not a wise move, Bubby." Then, right before my eyes, Manny snapped Roderick's arm like a toothpick. Monday. After Roderick got his arm snapped, Mom took him to the hospital. So let's just say I had a very quiet Thanksgiving. You would never believe who I saw at school today. Well, you probably did. It was Rowley, and that's not all. He was making out with Holly Hales. I couldn't believe my eyes. Who would have thought Holly would hook up with Rowley? The only good thing is that he's not after me. He's probably trying to make me jealous. Tuesday. I had an idea. I went up to Bryce Anderson today. First, he was confused why I would come to talk to him, but when I told him what happened, he was furious. Rowley's not even a good boyfriend. That's what I said. I wasn't completely on board about, teaming up with Bryce, but if it meant getting back at Rowley, then it's a yes. We already have a plan. December, Monday. Okay, here's the plan. Bryce is having one of those parties he always throws every month as usual. The first part of the plan is I'm gonna invite Rowley to the party. Me specifically, so he doesn't know it's a trick. The next step of the plan is to make Rowley follow me into a closet to think we're going to have alone time. The third part is to have Rowley drink some sort of liquid, but it has to be some sleeping pills in it. The last part is when he falls asleep, me, Bryce, and his friends beat the crap out of him. This plan couldn't fail. This is some good foreshadowing. Saturday, day of the party. About a week later, I invited Rowley to Bryce's. It was a little strange though, because when I gave Rowley the invitation, he sorta did this weird chuckle. More like it sounded as if he was choking on a marshmallow. Anyway, I arrived at the party before Rowley, and let's just say that I wanted to bleach my eyes. Holy f***. Rowley in a dress, you can't fucking see it. Yup, I wanna die. After about 15 seconds of awkward silence, Rowley pointed up. He was pointing out a mistletoe. Then he yelled at me and said, "Kiss me!" It was really embarrassing. Some people even looked at me. Please kill me now. I didn't know what to say, but I saw a bathroom over Rowley's shoulder. I pushed past him and said that I had to go. At least it could occupy myself for a few minutes away from that psychopath in a dress. I sat in the bathroom for a few minutes, mostly was washing my face. That's when I heard someone walking towards the bathroom. I panicked and looked at the door and I forgot to lock it. So I immediately jumped into the bathtub and shut the curtains. When they came in, I peeked outside and I saw Holly. Ah! I asked her what she was doing here and she asked me the same thing. What? Are y'all 10? Anyway, I told Holly that I was just freshening up and she got a suspicious look on her face and ran out. I didn't want to waste any time anymore, so I just began the plan. I got out of the bathroom and found Bryce. He gave me a wine glass, put some sleeping pills in it, and stirred it up. Then all I had to do was find Rowley. My boy, you just smiling way too much. I found Rowley standing by Holly and Holly was talking to him. She was probably telling him what happened with her and me in the bathroom, so I immediately ran over here. There. Shit. Oh god, I'm too tired for this shit. When I got there, Holly walked away and I asked Rowley if he wanted to have 7 minutes in heaven with me in the closet. Jesus Christ, this is making my eyes burn. He immediately said yes and we walked to the closet before anyone saw us. He also brought a candle, but I guess that doesn't matter. Let's get started, Greg. Please, shoot me now. I frantically told him to hold his horses and he stopped. I asked him if he wanted to raise a toast. He said that he guessed we could. Toast to our love? I gave the wine glass to Rowley, offering him the first drink. He looked hesitant at first, but then grabbed it. Then he shoved this drink down my throat. Sunday. I woke up coughing and out of breath. Bryce was standing over me, slapping me awake. I asked him what was going on, and he said he saw Rowley walk out of the closet and smoke was flying out. Everyone ran out of the house and Bryce dragged me out of there. Bryce's house was on fire. It was probably that candle Rowley brought in there with us. Anyway, we got out of there. Someone called the fire department, so they came straight away. I got out of there before anyone saw me because I didn't want to get in trouble. And how was I supposed to explain what happened? So yeah, basically I lured this fat kid into a closet with me so I could pretend I was going to make out with him, but actually put him to sleep so me and these other kids can beat the ever-living crap out of him. Wow, right on the nose there, Greg. The only thing I had on my mind was, how did Rowley know I was going to do something to him? Until I remembered Holly. She probably told him to watch out or something after she saw me acting weird in the bathroom. If I can say one thing to Bryce after this whole thing, it would be Merry Christmas, I guess. Merry Christmas indeed. January. I guess you can say that my Christmas was really lonely. It was just me, Manny, and my parents. It's really sad that my brother wasn't there. I didn't even get that many presents. Maybe if you hadn't tied a noose around your brother's neck, you'd get more. Maybe, just maybe, if you were a good mother and didn't gloss over the fact that your other son is dragging body bags into his room, maybe you'd actually go to heaven for being a good mom, you stupid cow. Christmas is supposed to be about family and friends, but I didn't even get any of that. Speaking of friends, I never heard from Bryce after his house burnt down. He might have left town. Fortunately, something good did happen. Roger came home from the hospital with his arm good as new, just in time for New Year's Eve. Manny wasn't there though. I don't know what he was doing. I guess things are looking up for me now. Roderick made me feel better. I even caught him up on the whole Rowley situation. He said if I needed anything, I could come to him. Monday, something really cool happened recently. That guy Brian Little, the kid who makes the Wacky Dog comics, died in that house fire at Bryce Anderson's house. So now there's an opening in the school newspaper, and that took a dark turn real quick. I could totally win that. Brian's Wacky Dog comic was trash anyway. Sometimes the jokes just didn't even make sense. Hey Wacky Dog, say something funny. Okay. Life is a bottomless, empty black hole. One day the sun will explode and take the entire human race with it, deeming everything we do meaningless. Okay, well that was funny, for the ones with the dark sense of humor, including myself. That was pretty depressing. Hey Greg, I don't think Brian died in that fire. I think he might have took his own life. All I need to do is crack out some pens and some paper. How hard can making a comic be? Tuesday. Okay, so far, I have these few comics as an idea. If you step on a crack and make a wish, it'll come true. Okay, let's see. Your whole family was just brutally killed in an explosion. It worked! Uzi Chawa! Wait, what the f*** did I just read? Raleigh always had this dumb punchline, Zooey Mama. He basically stole it from me. But Uzi Chawa was always better. No, Greg, that's where I draw the line. Stop right there. I don't care how much you hate Raleigh, Greg. You never fuck with the Zooey Mama, Greg. Next comic I had was this beauty. Hurry, this is an emergency. Ma'am, I think my burger has been poisoned. It has been poisoned. That was fast. I didn't put the Uzi Chawa in there. Shut the f*** up with that, Greg. I f*** you. But I still kept the dark humor, which is good. Dark humor, indeed. But I finally made the best comic ever. I call it Booger Eater, and I'm gonna throw up my lunch after reading this next part. Finally, my booger collection is complete. Hey, are you gonna eat those? What the fuck? No way, I've been saving these for 5 years. Hey doctor, my nose won't stop bleeding. Booger Eater. It's because you keep picking your fucking nose. But, it's my favorite sport. Of course, the main character Booger Eater is inspired by the one and only Raleigh Jefferson. Speaking of which, he actually made a comic for the opening. Yeah, I don't want to read this out loud, so you know what? You can just pause it for yourself and read it, because I'm not doing this. You done reading it yet? Alright. From this, I could obviously tell that Rowley was trying to make me mad, but it didn't work. Believe it or not, Fregley made a comic too. Look, Greg is a frog, ha 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 ha. And I'm immediately feeling the cringe. Wednesday. Something strange happened today. There was a knock at the door, so I opened it and it was Fregley. He slobbered all over my face and pushed past me before I could shove him out. He ran through the hallway on all fours to Manny's room. Who knows what they could be plotting in there. I ran over there and banged on the door, and Fregley poked his head out and said, "Stay out of my way, Greg Heffley." So much for confronting him. I just left it at that though, because I didn't want my arm snapped by Manny. I'm kind of looking forward tomorrow though, because that's when my comic wins. Thursday. Today was the day of the results. And can you guess who won? And the new cartoonist for the school paper is Greg motherfucking Heffley. I was hoping everyone, or at least a person, would recognize me, but they kept calling me Earwax. I decided to look for clues, so I looked at the school paper and saw the monstrosity. That was my comic. Hi, my name is Greg Heffley, but you can call me Earwax. I love to shove my earwax up my ass. I call it a muddy pig in a blanket. What the fuck? It was humiliating. It must have been Manny and Fregley, so after school I confronted him. He said, "This is only the beginning." I guess it was too. Even the teachers were getting into it. Who wants a muddy pig in a blanket? What the fuck? By the way, that Earwax nickname is probably gonna stick with me for the rest of my life. I can already see it now. We are kicking you out because your name is Earwax. Wait, huh? Friday. After thinking about it, I'm taking this to the principal. I know kids are bullying me, but when the teachers are too, that's crossing the line. So I went to Principal Roy about the situation, but it wasn't what I was expecting. Hey, it's the Earwax kid! Even the principal was making fun of me. I went to my parents about it, and well, you probably know what's gonna happen next. Whatever you say, Earwax. I give up. Monday. I thought the whole earwax thing was going to die down by the end of the weekend, but it didn't. But I did see a familiar face at lunch today. It was Shirag. I thought we both could bond over us being outcasts, so I sat by him. What's up, Earwax? Right back at you, Invisible Shirag. I guess it worked too, because we became friends at the end of the day. Tuesday. We had a snow day today because it was snowing and it was too cold outside. Shirag called me and asked if we could hang out. I definitely wasn't going to go to his house in this weather. I was probably going to get hypothermia just by stepping outside the door. So I told him yes, but he had to come to my house. At first, we were just playing simple things like board games until Mom came in with a surprise. It was Manny. He probably thought we were plotting against him or something. I didn't want him bothering us, and it looked like Shirag didn't either, so when Mom left, he just ignored him. But for some reason, he kept sniffing Shirag like he had a sab of meat in his pocket. So Shirag did something that made me proud. Booyah! Shirag kicked Manny like a football to the moon. Right after that, Shirag grabbed him by the arms and chucked him into the furnace room and locked him in. Which, Manny was really quiet about it too, which is weird. So I filled Shirag into the whole Rowley situation, because if he pulls a stunt like that again, he could be killed. After a while, I decided to let Shirag stay over for the night because we probably weren't gonna have school tomorrow. A few hours later in the middle of the night, we kept hearing strange noises from inside the furnace room. Me and Shirag shut up and looked at each other and immediately knew putting Manny in there was a really fucked up idea. It was indeed, because the lights went out. I thought Roderick would help me out with getting Manny under control, so me and Shirag went to Roderick's room, but he was asleep. I didn't want him to get hurt again anyway, so I left him be. I guess it's just me and Shirag. So me and Shirag looked in the furnace room and he wasn't there. We turned the whole house upside down looking for him, but he wasn't anywhere. I even looked at the power box and it wasn't even touched. After a while, me and Shirag just called it quits. It was super late at night anyway, and we were very tired, so we went to sleep. Later that night, I woke up, and this happened. Ah! Right when Shirag managed to get out of Manny's little trap, I grabbed Manny, shoved him in a box, and closed it. Manny moved around a lot in it, but when he finally calmed down, that gave me and Shirag some time to breathe. During that time to breathe, I got an idea. I taped the box shut, and I snuck out of the house. Once I got in the backyard, I buried Manny alive. After that, me and Shirag had a good night's sleep. Thankfully, oh crap, I forgot to say Wednesday again. Wednesday, Thankfully, the snow melted this morning, but me and Chirag still had school. When I got home today, Mom looked stressed and Dad was there too. I asked Dad what was going on and he said that Mom was looking for Manny all day and couldn't find him. Oh no! Wait, I guess I was fine because how could they know it was me? Wow, Greg, I didn't think you could get dark, but here you are. I don't know why Mom likes Manny anyway. Do you know how many knives she's always found while she changes Manny's diapers? Anyway, Mom thinks that he's dead. Wow, Susan. Wow, no search party or anything. Just wow. Immediately dead. You are a terrible mother. Anyway, she thinks he's dead and we are going to do a funeral tomorrow. Thursday. While we were going to the funeral, Roderick asked me if Manny was actually dead and I told him what happened last night. Then we went to the funeral and whatnot. It was kind of amusing, to be honest. Just knowing that we're having a funeral for my little brother even though he's actually rotting in a box in my backyard is funny. And I'm a little scared now. I guess seeing Mom distraught is a little sad, but deep down I really don't give a fuck. I'm just praying that Manny doesn't somehow get out of that small casket. Hopefully. February. Wednesday. February. The time of love. Or so I thought, let me explain. So I started to fall in love with this girl in my class named Becky Anton. Since it was almost Valentine's Day, I decided I was gonna give her a Valentine's card. I was going to give her an amazing store-bought card, but the people who made those things always put something cheesy on it like this. Will you be the noose to my neck? Wait, what? I obviously wasn't gonna use something so original, so I made a poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. If you don't love me back, I'll fucking kill you. From Greg. Okay? Thursday. Guys at my school will do anything to get a girl. This one kid named Brian Cooling got this one girl that he liked to date her by cutting off his actual ear. How come I didn't think of that? I don't think you'd want to. A lot of other guys are using his idea too and it's working. And I think it's becoming a trend. Yeah, becoming partially deaf is a trend. Okay. All these kids are getting hearing problems now and the parents are starting to complain to the school about these so-called quote-unquote relationships. Next thing you know, they aren't using condoms. Sir, they're already not using condoms. And your daughter's not even on the pill. They're already fucking up their lives. You don't need to remind us. After the news broke out about kids not being allowed to be in relationships anymore, the whole school went fucking haywire. I saw some of the girls in the hallway, and they were protesting about not having boyfriends. Nuts or guts? Nuts or guts? Guys, y'all are 15. You are way too young to be rearranging guts without a rubber. Friday, day 2 of the new rule in school. It's actually getting a little bit depressing if you ask me. This one girl in our class, named Jamie, just broke up with her boyfriend forcefully. She hasn't gotten any work done in class. I think she's just given up on hope. Mate, y'all were gonna break up by the end of high school. Cut the bullshit. Obviously, some kids have been trying to hide their relationships. These two kids in school take their relationship very seriously. Their names are Karen Riley and Wally Marsh. So basically these two 8th graders came up to me and told me there was some weird stuff going on in the janitor's closet every day at 11. So obviously I got a little curious and decided to check it out for myself. I'm just going to say that I was not pleased. Oh my god, they're dick-sucking, pussy-licking, 69ing, sex-trifling in the closet. I'm not going to go into very much detail. You just did. I don't think you need to, or at least I did. Monday. Apparently the teachers finally found out about what Karen and Wally were doing, and they put a stop to it. The teachers didn't just stop there though. They thought other kids were doing what Karen and Wally were doing. Oh, you mean dick sucking, pussy licking, 69ing, sex trifling. Yeah, I don't think any other kids were doing that, but thanks for your concern, I guess. But in other private places like the bathrooms ain't private, what the fuck? If you want private place, do it in the janitor's closet. Now, the teachers are always on everyone's tails every second of the day to know what they're doing. Subject approaching the corridor 3 boys' bathroom. If this doesn't end soon, I'm going to go insane. Wednesday. The peak of this madness happened today. At the end of the day, a teacher was walking to her car until a group of boys appeared on the top of the school building. And what did they do? They threw used tampons at her. First off, where'd they get them from? And second, that is just fucking gross. Thursday. It rained very hard last night and I couldn't sleep. It wasn't until 2:30 a.m. when I heard these little footsteps. They couldn't be Mom or Dad's footsteps or even Roderick's. It shook me up a little bit, but after building up the courage, I decided to take a look for myself. So I threw on some clothes and I wandered around the house. Strangely enough, I did find something. There was muddy footprints all over the house. Some of them were even on the ceiling. I don't want to know how that happened. I knew this couldn't be a raccoon because raccoons don't climb on ceilings. At least I don't think so. So I kept on looking. After a little bit of investigating, I found the end of the muddy footprint trail. It led outside the front door, but that didn't really help the situation that much. I was trying to find where they came from, not where they went. So again, I continued the search. It was kind of hard finding where they came from. They were everywhere. But then I found the source. They came from my own backyard. I think I had a mini heart attack putting all the pieces together. Yeah, Manny came back from the dead. I started back to my room. It's really startling knowing that Manny was back on the loose. I was getting freaked out by the little things I would hear behind my back. I was getting too paranoid, so I just made a run for it. Once I finally made it back to my room, I saw the abomination before my very eyes. It was Manny, but he had wings. I rubbed my eyes, wondering if I was high, but then I realized I don't got a supply. But when I looked again, he was gone. I locked my window and I shut the curtains. If what I saw was real, I do not want that thing to get to me. I was going back to sleep, but I kept my bedroom lights on for now. I'm going to sleep with my eyes open. Valentine's Day. It's finally the day I've been waiting for. Today I'm going to give Becky Anton my Valentine's Day card I made. But now I've got a small parasite after me. But I have nothing to worry about. I'm going to bring my gun to school today. It's not actually my gun though. I found it in Dad's box under his bed. It's labeled the N, whatever that means. Oh. Looks like Frank's not happy with his life after all. I immediately went up to Becky when I got to school. I gave her the one I made that had the poem on it, but when I gave it to her, she said, "What are you, a pedophile?" That sentence makes no sense, and I can't even begin to unpack why it doesn't make sense. Anyway, what did she mean by that? I'm not a pedophile. I guess so much for that. So I just continued my day, but it's Valentine's Day. I should be with someone. I was sadly walking to my next class, but that's when I ran into Manny. Salutations, Bubby. Yeah! After I quickly got a hold of myself, I realized this was my chance, so I shot a bullet at him. That's when I realized something. He dodged my bullet. That means I can kill him. But then Manny spoke up again and told me he was reincarnated as the Cupid. I asked him what that had to do with anything, and he shot someone behind me. I turned around and it was Ruby Bird. She was giving me the sex eyes. I already knew where this was going and I didn't like it. The next thing you know, she's charging at me and the only reasonable thing that I did was shoot her. Yeah! What? It was the only thing I could do. It was self-defense. Anyway, now I had Manny to deal with. I immediately shot at him and I missed, but not completely. I actually shot his wings and he fell to the ground. Manny's bow and arrows fell with him, and I quickly picked them up before he did and I snapped them in half. But then he looked at me just like he looked at Roderick when he broke Roderick's arm. So I made a run for it and I never saw him for the rest of the day. After that whole crazy Valentine's Day, I was really looking forward to going home. But when I did, I got something a little off in the mail. Hey Greggy, long time no talk. But don't worry, I've got something real special for you, Rowley. P.S. I got a toenail just for you. Oh my god, I felt so cringy reading that. March, Saturday. Today, me and my family went to old-timey ice cream parlor, and we brought Grandpa along. We all sat down, and when the waitress came over, she counted us, and she landed on me last. She called the whole staff over to our table, and I was starting to get nervous. If they called the cops or something, I'm blaming everything on Roderick. But it wasn't what I was expecting at all. "You're our 1 millionth customer!" I thought it was a little cool and all, but what really sparked my interest was when the guy who looked like the owner gave me a big old check of $100,000. My whole family was as flabbergasted as I was. When I got home, we started brainstorming about what I was going to use the money for. My mom said that I could give half of it to the poor, but I told her to tell that to Elon Musk. My dad said I should use it to buy myself a rifle, but nothing could compare their suggestions to Grandpa's. "Buy some hookers with that, Gregster." Yeah, don't call me that. But the truth is, I'm secretly using the money to give it to Roderick. It'll be a little something to pay him back, since he broke his arm a few months ago. But then I got an idea on how I can lie about using the money and still get something out of it. So I asked Mom and Dad if me and Roderick can have a house party tonight. Mom and Dad said no, so I told them that if anything gets broken, I can pay for it. Then they agreed to it. But I did give them money for tickets so they can go on vacation so they wouldn't be here. Those greedy little pigs. Once Grandpa left too, the party was on. Roderick called his friends and his friends called their friends. I also heard Roderick say in his calls, "my brother's party," which kinda made me feel good. After a while, we had everyone down my block at the party. Once people heard there was a gigantic party at my place, we had even more people. That's when the party truly started. Sunday. What happened last night? The house is in a wreck. I promised myself I wouldn't let the place become a mess so I wouldn't have to pay for anything that got damaged. But I guess that idea was thrown out the fucking window. Did I mention that my leg hurt? Anyway, I woke Roderick up and asked him about what happened last night. I was really surprised. He said that I got drunk and I fell off the roof. I've never drank before, and knowing that is what happens, I'm never doing that again. Why was I on top of the roof in the first place? Anyway, there was still the whole house to clean up and there were people we had to kick out. So me and Roderick got to work pretty quick. One thing that seemed really strange and wouldn't leave my mind was that Roderick's band left really early in the morning apparently. They would usually stay the night for a few more days, but I just tried to ignore it. After tidying up the place, me and Roderick just sat down to watch TV. I started flipping through the channels really fast because I was trying to see if Twisted Wizard the animated series was on. But somehow Roderick saw something on one of the channels that shocked him so much that he practically lunged out of his seat and his eyes bulged out of his head. He started screaming at me to go back and I did. Believe me, I was as shocked as he was. Rock band becomes famous sensation overnight. Roderick just sat and stared at the TV, flabbergasted. I couldn't even imagine what was going on inside his head. But with quick thinking, I remembered the money. Don't worry, Roderick. I've got a really cool surprise for you. I'll go get it. I got up and I swiftly ran to my room as fast as I could. If this somehow doesn't cheer him up, what else would what would work? And so I began digging through my really clean and organized closet, because that's just where I left it. Incredibly, I couldn't find it anywhere, and that's when it clicked. The check was gone because Roderick's band found it, stole it, and used it to become really famous rock stars. So now, I knew Mom and Dad were gonna kill my ass, and Roderick was gonna be a depressed little forever. I sadly walked back to Roderick devastated, and I told him about everything and what happened. And then that's when I saw Roderick do something that I've never seen him do before, ever in my entire life. He started to cry. He started talking about how life was unfair to him and stuff. I didn't know what to do but comfort him. It was the least I could do for him. I actually hope he gets better. April, Wednesday. I was arrested today. Let me explain. A few days after the whole party incident, or party accident, whichever one, Dad woke me up and said that the police were here to arrest me. I still don't even know why they wanted to arrest me. Let me just say, being in jail is not fun. I didn't even know what drop the soap even meant until it actually happened. Ah! Thursday. I just had spent the night in that horrible place. It was cold, not to mention that it smelled like a Discord mod's bathroom. But lucky Roderick came to bust me out of this place this morning. It was such a relief. I thought I was gonna be in there my whole life. What are you in for? Oh no. Oh no. Before I left though, the police officer said that I had to come back tomorrow for my trial. I'm not really looking forward to that. Friday. I got out of the trial today and I figured I was framed, but no one believes me. Apparently I burnt down an orphanage with all the kids inside. I asked them how they absolutely knew it was me, and they said a kid who was fat and a kid with glasses ratted me out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who those two are. But that's not the important part. The important part is that I have to pay a $1,000 fine. That check would be pretty useful right now. So anyway, I had to find out how I was gonna, get all that money. And that's when it hit me. That Stringer family has this one kid named Wesley I can babysit. Anyway, I called Mrs. Stringer and I asked her if I could babysit Wesley $100 a day for 2 weeks. And surprisingly, she said yes. So I went over to the Stringer's house ready to babysit the little wrench. But before everyone left, Mrs. Stringer told me that there was one more person coming over to babysit Wesley too. I honestly didn't care unless I was going to get my money's worth. After they left, I went to go find Wesley. When I did though, he immediately asked me a question.
Wanna go play hide and seek?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Once he went to go hide, I got some time to myself, so I just sat back onto the couch and I turned on some TV. After I was about 5 minutes into the show I was watching, there was a knock at the door. I thought that it might have been the other babysitter, so I answered the door. But when I did, I immediately regretted it. It was Rowley. That's when I remembered his letter he sent me 2 months ago. He planned this whole thing. I couldn't turn back now. I looked him straight into his bulging eyes and I told him not to do anything stupid. So I sat down on the couch and I continued to watch TV. But Rowley flopped his fat butt a little too close to me and said, "Isn't it like we're raising our own child? When you go to sleep tonight, I'm gonna burn you in your fucking bed, Rowley." Luckily, Wesley came into the room just in time. I guess I kind of forgot about him. He surprisingly didn't look mad though. When he came in, he asked me and Rowley if we wanted to have a Nerf war. I didn't have anything else to lose, so I said sure. But then he pulled out an actual gun and started to shoot at us. Victory is mine! Ah! After I made Rowley tackle Wesley and wrestle the gun out of his hand, I locked Wesley in the laundry room as a punishment. Then I just went back to watch more TV. Once I got up to raid the Stringer's kitchen for snacks, Rowley followed me and asked me if I can be his queen again. I obviously said no, but when I did, he shoved me into the laundry room just like I did with Wesley. Not only that, I also heard him breaking some stuff. That's when I realized that Rowley was breaking stuff because he was going to frame me. Again. I knew that I couldn't just sit there and do nothing, so I tried to find a way out. There were no windows in the room, and the only door to get out was the one that Rowley pushed me through. But I found a door to a vent. But then I remembered something. I almost forgot about Wesley. Fortunately, I had a plan on what to do with Wesley when I escaped, so unfortunately I had to take that little brat with me. It's hot in here. So yeah, Wesley isn't going to shut up soon. Can you shut up, Wesley? What are we doing? Shut up, Wesley! Where are we going? Wesley! Listen here, you little shit. I've had it with you. I will sit here and piss myself until you shut the fuck up. Really? What was that? Ah! It was Rowley. I wasn't going to take any chances of him latching onto my ankle, so I grabbed Wesley and I made a run for it. A little after I ran through that big labyrinth of vents, I made it outside. Now, you might be wondering, how did you get the money to pay off for the orphanage? Simple. All I had to do was hold Wesley for ransom. Long story short, I paid the debt. Tuesday. I almost shit myself waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning and seeing Manny right above me. Ah! After Manny slapped me in the face a couple of times, I finally kept quiet. I almost yelled for Roderick until Manny said that he had a message from Rowley. Basically, Rowley said that he was tired of waiting for me to become his queen, so he's gonna kill me, on Friday to be exact. He told me that I had to meet them on the basketball court at school. Believe me, I tried begging Manny, but he just won't budge. Please, Manny, I'll do anything. I'll even wipe your ass for you. Too late, Bubby. You had your chance. I guess I was not getting through to him. Wednesday. I stayed up all night and I came up with a plan, but I wouldn't really call it a plan because it's so simple. All I have to do is fight back. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. How are you gonna fight Rowley, Manny, and Fregley all by yourself? Well, I'll tell you. I'm going to fight fire with fire. Today I was thinking about who could join me in the battle of the Three Stooges. And it occurred to me that Chirag could help me. When it was lunchtime, I knew it was my chance, so I sat right next to him and I immediately cut to the chase. I told him about everything and how Rowley was planning on killing me. Please help me, Chirag. I really need your help. I could tell Chirag wasn't that fond of the idea. I couldn't blame him though, after what happened back in January. But then I reminded him about how I saved him back in kindergarten when I pulled his cat's leg out of his ear. Then he remembered how he still owes me that favor, so that's how he decided to join me. Thursday. Somehow word got out about the big fight and everyone was getting really excited about it. Outside school, I saw some kids getting riled up and wrestling. Once I got home from school, I quickly went to Roderick. As I did with Chirag, I told him about what Rowley said and how he's gonna kill me and that I needed his help. After talking it over with him, he finally agreed. Now all I have to do is prepare for tomorrow. I'm kind of scared, honestly. Not for Rowley or Fregley, but Manny. Manny is the one who has all these demonic powers. But just in case, I'm bringing a gun to school just like I did last time. Friday. It was the day of the fight. After school ended, we all meet up on the basketball court, just like we promised. Roderick and Chirag were at my side, and we were ready. The whole school was watching us. and I didn't want to embarrass myself, so I made the first move. I charged at Rowley with murder in my eyes. This is what he was going to get for everything he had done this whole year. That's when I made the first hit. I started to hear the crowd of kids cheer me on. I actually think we might win. I looked over and I saw Shirag fighting Manny. Shirag was really scary, because he bit Manny's ear off. But Roderick wasn't doing so hot. Fregley was licking Roderick's face like a dog. When I actually started looking around, I noticed that everyone was fighting. It was a total war zone. I saw that Shirag was caught in a fight with some other random kid, so I decided to run over to him and help him. It was good that I knocked Rowley out because that bought me some time. I looked at Manny and it looked like he was gonna rescue his comrade too. He somehow killed a row of kids getting to Fregley. That's when I noticed that Manny was coming for Roderick too. I didn't want Manny to do what he did to Roderick before, so I had to put Shirag on hold. But when I saw Manny get to Roderick, Manny unleashed his ultimate form. That's when Manny did something I'd never forget. Right before my eyes, I saw Manny rip every limb off Roderick's body one by one. I quickly dashed over to Roderick, but when I did, I took out my gun and I pumped Manny's body with lead. As I knelt down to Roderick, I knew this was going to be his finale. I started apologizing to him for everything I've done and getting him into this. He started to cough up blood, and with his final breath, my brother said to me, "This past year has been the best. Thanks for everything, pal." Roderick died. I started getting a million thoughts through my head. One in particular was how this whole thing started. Everything that has led up to this day has been because of Rowley. Rowley did all of this, and it led to killing my own brother. That's when it broke me. I was done. I wanted to finish this. I walked through the crowd of kids, and I shot Rowley right through the head. Most of the kids started screaming. They were scrambling around like ants. I didn't see Fregley anywhere. He basically vanished, but it didn't matter. I already did what was needed to be done. I started to hear police sirens, so I grabbed Shirag and we both made a run for it. I told him what happened about Roderick and all, and he comforted me about it. This is the final time I am writing in this. I'm gonna bury this in my backyard tonight. So long, I guess. 2032. May, Friday. I went back to get this journal. I just read through this, and it brought back the dark past of my childhood. I think I have some explaining to do. After I buried this journal, I swore never to come back to it, because I never wanted to remember anything that happened that year. But the dark truth is that it all stuck with me all this time. I remember that I never slept that night, knowing that my life wasn't going to be the same ever again. The next part is the most important one. The next morning, I built up the courage to tell Mom and Dad about everything, about how me and Rowley fought and about Roderick dying. They didn't take it so nicely, and they both cold-heartedly decided to kick me out of the house. I wasn't that surprised though, because they have always been like that. I lived a poor life for about 7 years, and the police never found out about me killing Rowley. One day I decided to come clean, and I told the police. That's when my story spread around like wildfire. After a while, I was out of jail, and I quickly became a walking celebrity. But I've never seen Mom and Dad ever again. As I've said before, they're just that type of people. Since I became a celebrity, I was getting noticed left and right, so I decided to lay low out of the crowd and basically drive off to make a new life of privacy. It's kind of ironic because I spent most of my life, most of my childhood believing and knowing that I was going to be famous one day. But once I got my wish, I just wanted to go back. I started feeling really lonely, and I remembered two people who were very loyal to me through the short period of time. After searching, I finally found Shirag and Bryce. We all got together one day. It was one of the best days I've ever had in years. We all laughed and told each other stories. I wanted that day to go on forever. But now we all still keep in touch and meet up with each other almost every Friday. This is truly way better than living like a celebrity. I just have Shirag and Bryce, my two best friends. I'll never forget Roderick for what he has done. If it wasn't for him, my life wouldn't be as happy as it is now. Roderick is truly the greatest person I know. If I had to say one more thing, it would be thanks, Roderick. No, I'm not crying. And that was the breaking point. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. So, as I said, I had some important announcements. So yeah, time to get to that. So the first thing I gotta say is, sorry this video took so long to come out. I was just dealing with some personal issues during the time of me editing the video and making the video. So that kind of put a halt. So fortunately I was able to edit for most of September and October. And finally the video's out, so I'm glad it's out. Again, I apologize that this video had to take so long. Next thing I want to say is, go follow me on Twitter and Instagram. For those who don't know, I have Twitter and I have an Instagram. The link for those will be in the description. I want to get to 300 Twitter followers and 300 Instagram followers by the end of the year, if not before. Also, make sure you join my Discord server. The link for that will also be in the description. I had to get rid of the old one because it was kinda dead. Scratch that, it was dead. But yeah, make sure you join this one. Again, the links for all of these will be in the description. Also, I have a Patreon where you guys can support me financially. Now, you guys don't have to get a Patreon if you don't want to or you don't have the money to, because videos are gonna come out nonetheless. This is just a way for me to get better mic equipment, better lighting, better everything, I guess. But yeah, again, you guys don't have to, get it if you don't have the money or you don't want to. Because again, videos are going to come out nonetheless. Alright, so yeah, the Patreon basically offers video, you get weekly updates and you guys get to see how I make the videos and you guys get to get the videos early and that type of stuff. Alright, that's enough of me advertising the Patreon. On to the final thing I have to talk about. Alright, so it's time for some YouTube shoutouts. Now, I want to give back to the community that kind of created me. So, I'm going to be shouting out people who are smaller than me. So, let's get into this. First channel that I'm shouting out is Samuel's Twins. Now, these two twins, they make vlog content. Vlogs, the regular shit. So, make sure you guys subscribe to them. They have the potential to become big. And I want to see that happen, honestly. The next channel is Johnwasnever. Now, that name sounds familiar to you. It's because he's the guy who creates, the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books that I read. He created the Dark Web trilogy. He created the Sun Vanish. And he created the one that I'm currently talking to you about right now. The Breaking Point. So, make sure you subscribe to it. Same thing goes for my pal Communist Creeper. Again, he's trying to, distance himself from the commentary community. He's recently doing Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and he's also, he also creates them and he makes videos on them. And also, he's doing movie reviews, so make sure you subscribe to him. Next up is True Horror Stories THS. Now, she makes horror-related content. She live streams gameplays, and she also talks about stuff that are, macabre. So make sure you subscribe to her. Also subscribe to The Oracle. He basically does same horror story content, which I like, and I enjoyed them very much. Make sure you subscribe to Gaming with Nikar. He is a gaming channel, and he makes, PUBG related content, so, make sure you subscribe to him. He does great gameplay. Also, same goes for Duo Bros JA. He also does gaming content, so again, make sure you subscribe to him. Next up, make sure you subscribe to DBZ King 38. He does commentary, of course, That word keeps coming up, and it's gonna keep coming up more. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to him. His commentaries are great and fantastic, and also he does story time, so you can go check those out. So the next channel I want you guys to subscribe to is Eli for Dips. Now he did the Apocalypse Diary of a Wimpy Kid based book, and you know, you guys should definitely go check that out. He also does other content. I wish I knew how to classify it, but unfortunately I don't. But still, make sure you go subscribe to him. So next up, make sure you subscribe to Bunk. He is a commentary channel. Also follow him on Twitter at BunkIsBased. Yeah, he also makes great content, so make sure you check him out. Next up is Tech Saint, again, another commentary channel. I told you this is gonna keep coming up, but he makes good commentaries, and I can get down with that. I've binged a couple of his videos, so you know what? Make sure you subscribe to him, check him out, get him to 1,000 subscribers. Finally, make sure you subscribe to Animedia. He makes commentary content. He has made a couple tier lists in the past. Make sure you get him to 2,000, cause he's almost there, as you can see. Alright, that is all for shoutouts. Oh shit, I forgot, there was a kill counter on the video. I forgot to put that there. In my defense, I filmed that part in August, but just know Greg killed like 4 people. But yeah, that is the end of the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.